A shout out to our podcast sponsor, sportsponsorship.co.uk. If you or your business are interested in making a real difference to the Scottish game, supporting hundreds of kids into regular football, get in touch with sportsponsorship.co.uk and they'll find the right fit for your brand. Hello everybody, hello and welcome to Tinpot, a Scottish football podcast hosted by me, and my name is Tom Leask. I'm joined by my two usual compadres, my brethren, my homies. Andrew Guild, how are you, sir?
I am not too bad, not too shabby. Yourself, sir?
Oh, very well, thank you, very well. And how are you, Matthew Strugnall, my other esteemed colleague?
Fine, yeah. Keeping up appearances as the only man to ever be on every single episode of the podcast, is that correct?
Yes, ever present, as per description on Friday's episode.
That's it, nothing stops me, mate.
Nope, no COVID or flu or cold, bugs can get in your way.
I'll pod at my own funeral, mate, that's how dedicated I am. Oh, I'll leave a video message and I'm, in the great beyond for the last episode, and then the podcast has to just stop after that.
Like
PS, one more episode, yeah. One more episode of me saying my goodbyes and then just cancel it after that. Even if it is the number one rated in the world at the time, but it just has to stop.
It's a morbid way to start things off, isn't it? Speaking about your demise. It's the first time we've been together as a three, isn't it, for a long time? So
it is, yeah.
Feels like an official episode for the first time in a wee while. But yeah, coming up in tonight's ep on Tuesday's release, we're throwing it back to Tinpot of old, really. We're going to have an old-fashioned discussion on the weekend's games. It was a full card in the SPFL Premiership. So we're going to take a look at the sort of 6 matches that were going on there, some in a bit more detail than others. We have the review of all 3 of our predicted games from the Scottish Cup Round 3. So we'll be looking at Camelin Juniors against Edinburgh City, Stranraer against Clydebank, and Airdronians against Hamilton. And we'll take a look ahead at the Scottish Cup Round 4 draw as well. And as always on Tinpot episodes, you'll have a quiz at the end, which for tonight is a Matt versus Andrew special. Since we've got all 3 of us back, that's what we're going for.
Classic.
Before we get too carried away, we've not actually spoken as a 3 for a long time, so let's catch up. What's been happening in your life, Matthew? What's fresh?
Well, as you know, yesterday was St Andrew's Day. My daughter got taught a song at school about being Scottish. I can't quite remember it, but it was like, "We are Scotland from the land of the Scots," something like that. Anyway, and then yesterday I was like, "We're going to Asda. We're going to buy lots of Scottish things to eat." But then the kids wanted tomato soup, so they got that. And then Maya wanted tatties, so we settled on hash browns. And then I ate a steak and haggis pie, and that was it really. So
Tremendous.
Tomato soup, steak and haggis pie, and hash browns. I don't know how traditional that is. I don't know where soup came from. Tomato soup. I don't know. What the origins of tomato soup? Do you reckon?
I don't think here anyway.
No, I know here,
a lot of tomatoes back in the day.
I tried to persuade them to get fucking Cullen skink or what's the other one? What's the other Scottish soup?
Scotch broth.
Yeah, they were not having that. Like, yeah, they looked at that as like, what is that?
Scotch broth is fucking delicious, man. It's good shit.
It's not sugary enough for the kids, so they had to settle for the sugariest, sweetest soup of all, and it was carnage, mate. Every single time we eat tomato soup, it's like someone's been slaughtered by a demogorgon, mate. Honestly, I'm not even joking. A wee reference to the ST fans out there. So other than that, the pie was nice. A wee Bell's pie. I did have a steak and haggis pie from Stephen's the day before, so both of them were very, very tasty. And the kids, when you go to Stephen's and you get like the French fancies, but they're like shaped like a frog or like a snowman. Yeah. The kids were absolutely buzzing for these, so we got like one of them each as a snowman. Took like one bite into it, they both absolutely hated it, so I tanned both of them.
Really?
Yeah.
What a result.
I know, 2 French fancies, unbelievable, so good. They were the sweetest things. I felt so sick, honestly. I don't know why I didn't like them. They didn't like them, but I ate them both, so happy days for me. That's the highlight of my life, I think. That's the best thing, when the kids
we always
get
ask
something.
how you are, and all we get back is a report of what you've eaten, not how you actually are.
That is how I am,
Listeners
depending on
wait
what
for
I've
it.
eaten. It's how it correlates. It's a connection. If you have a good eating weekend, then you're feeling good, but also you feel bad because you've eaten so much crap. But also it's worth it. And I got Tim Hortons on the Too Good to Go again, so it was not a good weekend for the old heart and arteries, but fuck it. Christmas.
Yeah, you're allowed off it in December, even though it was technically November.
I know.
Yeah.
It was St Andrew's Day, mate.
That's it, exactly.
You love donuts, do you not?
Yeah, big
Andy?
time. Big time. Big time.
Like,
Beginning
Anyway.
of the festivities. Yeah. Start your
That's my life,
St.
mate.
Andrew's Day. That's it. What about you, Andrew? Any sort of cuisine-based stories for us? Or
Yeah, a couple, yeah. So
Oh.
St. Andrew's Day, obviously, I was held aloft for 24 hours because it's my day. But yeah, I enjoyed two new pieces of cuisine to the old taste buds. So tried out the double Big Tasty from
Oh, yeah.
McDonald's. That was very good, very, very good, very, very nice, very nice. It was the best burger they've ever released. They should never put it back in the cupboard, and they should keep it there forever. Like it's just fucking incredible. I would eat a McDonald's every week if that shit was there. So if McDonald's you're listening, then keep it on the menu. And I also tried my first ever wingers this weekend as well, which wasn't so good, but new wingers opened up pretty close to me.
Unless
that a
franchise?
Sponsor
Yeah,
us,
it's a
in
big
which case
franchise.
we could change our views.
Yeah, well, we could try it again. But yeah, bit of customer service goes a long way in these places. I think, with the new sort of futuristic approach of touchscreens everywhere, that
were you
kinda
hanging about
takes-
like for your food or what?
Oh, big time, yeah. It was really
Yeah.
awkward. It was like sort of sitting in a doctor's waiting room kind of thing. Like it was really, really pretty strange atmosphere. But I think you've really got to make up for it if you're going to use those touchscreens. Like you've got to be like super friendly, like handing over shit or whatever. Like it's got to be good. But so there's like two sections on the screen. One is like your order's being made, and then the other one's like it's ready for collection. And mine went to the second bit, ready for collection. So I went to the desk. This wee
like
guy,
a mug.
wee guy turns around and he's like, "What do you want?" I'm like, "My food."
You understand how it works, mate?
Yeah.
Look,
He's
first
like,
day, like,
all right. And I was like, "Yeah, okay. You want to get me that?" So yeah, it was just really weird atmosphere in there. But yeah. I'll maybe give it a shot after a couple of months, but I think I maybe need some time to settle in, so
Yeah,
it wasn't very nice.
Andrew, you see on the sign, right? It's called wingers, right at the front. It's like wingers, but like the wingers is like the letters are quite close together. But the sign on the
Yeah.
back, right? It says like win, and there's like a small gap, and it was Jers, win Jers.
Hey,
So
there
one at
you
the
go.
back, yeah, so one at the back, like from the Aldi side, it says win Jers.
Ah,
So there you go. I think it's like subliminal messaging for you, Andrew. They got you, mate. I
maybe,
think.
maybe
There you
that's
go.
maybe that's why I didn't
That's why you
like
went.
it because we didn't get a result on the weekend. So
Exactly.
maybe it was all subliminal, yeah. But yeah,
Is this a big
two-
franchise, this
It
place?
is,
Wingers?
yeah.
I've never heard
Apparently,
of
I
it.
didn't know that, but one
It's
of
English,
the guys
like.
in my team, I don't know where it's originally
Yeah.
from, but they said that they've got one down where they are in England. So I was like, oh right, I never heard it before, but yeah,
Is Chicken Cottage a franchise?
yeah.
Because I was walking, no, just because I was walking on Gorgie Road when I was at work, and I saw Chicken Cottage, and I
Yeah,
was like, doesn't Mark go to like Chicken Cottage and Peach to like give them
Yeah.
back his like food? Like, can I have my BlackBerry back, please? Is that episode? No?
that's it. Yeah, it's
And I was
Chicken
thinking
Cottage.
Chicken
Yeah.
Cottage. I know that name from somewhere. Like I've heard that name before.
Is that
so
Chicken Cottage? Is it not? It's not Chicken Corner, no?
I don't know.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe they can't
Yes.
use Chicken Cottage because that's an actual franchise, so they go Chicken Corner. But
Chicken Cottage sounds about right. Because I
Yeah.
mean, they're
I'm
not
gonna have to
scared of
Google this.
franchise. They did the old KFC as well and all that. So
yeah, maybe it's
surely,
Chicken Corner. Tam is the behemoth of all knowledge of
No, you're spot on. You're spot on.
Chicken
There's
Cottage.
a quote
There you
here
go.
on the Michelin Web subreddit. Quote: He wants to meet me. He wants me to meet him at Chicken Cottage. You're spot on.
Yeah, so
Well
I'm
done.
not going to eat it, but it did make me think wherever I heard that name, Chicken Cottage.
Yeah, there you
So,
go.
yeah.
There you go.
And they're
How are you getting on,
opening.
Tom?
Oh, sorry, I was going to say quickly, just before you jump in on finding food. Did anyone ever watch the film Good Burger when they were a kid with like Keenan and Kel?
That's opening near you.
Yes, there's a place near me called Good
Whoa.
Burger that's opening up. I don't think it's the same. There's like
thought
good
that
giant
as well.
burgers or like good sauce or whatever.
I drove past it.
Yeah.
We should go. Like we should
We should
go when it
definitely
opens
go.
up. Do
I
like
think
an
that's an
episode
English
there.
thing as well. I read about that in the Dunfermline Press. Not related to the film, but it did make me laugh as well because that's a classic from my childhood. Good look.
Can't say
Incredible.
I've heard of it.
No.
Either the establishment or the film.
Do you know
The
Keenan and
film?
Kel though?
I've heard of Keenan and Kel, yeah. The orange
So
soda
basically,
guy.
they work at like a burger restaurant, and then like it's not going very well. And then Kel makes this like special sauce. It's like amazing. But then there's like a company next door called Mondo Burger who are like injecting their burgers with like special steroids to make the burgers like massive. So like they end up just sort of like fighting and that. And then they make these giant burgers, and then like one falls on the roof onto like Sinbad's car. Classic.
Sinbad.
So good. The big twist is that
Probably giving a spoiler alert at the start of
No,
that, just in case
the twist
anyone
is
wants
that
to watch that for the
Keenan
first
had to get the job at Good Burger because he was like driving his mum's car without a license, and then Kel was like skateboarding or whatever doing a delivery and made him crash his car. And then anyway, I'm not doing justice.
Sinbad gets
classic,
about. I was watching him on Jingle All the Way on the weekend as
Oh,
well.
that's
so
also an absolute
forgot he was
classic.
in there. So yeah.
Oh, Christmas
Oh,
films
Sinbad's the greatest
pre-December.
Oh
Wow.
yeah. I've been hitting Christmas films for a while. Kids
shit.
kids hooked. So since we went to like Winter Wonderland, so it was like after that floodgates are open. So that was that.
Yeah, that's it. You've let yourself in for that.
Yeah.
Cam,
So
you
made
got
your
your
own
tree
bed,
up, Thomas,
so
in
to
the
speak.
corner there. Got a tree?
No, I don't have a tree in my flat. I didn't have one last year. This is my second Christmas in the flat. Didn't have one last year. Won't have one this year. It's only me that sees it. No one
Great.
else comes here during December. So what's
The
the point?
Grinch. The Grinch.
No, I quite like Christmas. I'll watch the Christmas films. I'll listen to the songs. I'll eat a mince pie. But no point in spending 60 quid on a tree and baubles and all this pish. No,
Go
not
cut
for
one
me.
down and from the woods and bring it in.
I need to find somewhere where that's legal to do it. Not many places.
Woods.
What's your favourite Christmas film, Tom? If you like Christmas so much, mate.
Oh, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
It's a good
Symbols.
one. Yeah, it's bloody good. Yeah.
It's better than the first one.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, it is. Yeah.
Andrew?
No, I'd say the first one for me, but I mean they're both just fucking brilliant films. So really good.
Yeah. I like Elf. Elf's a classic.
Yeah, Elf's
Jingle All the
good.
Way is also amazing just for the sheer insanity of it all.
That's
This
my
is brilliant,
favourite. Like just
I am
because
Turbo
the acting is
Man.
terrible.
Yeah.
It's double time.
Whoa, who's that man? Who's Turbo Man?
No, Jamie, no.
Your Arnie impression is pretty good. Spot.
What about Ainsley's favourite Christmas film?
Hang on, I'll whisper it to me.
He only talks to you.
For those just listening to this podcast and not watching on YouTube, Andrew has a guest with him this week behind him. It's Ainsley Harriott. And if you want to go onto YouTube to watch, you'll see his lovely face. But yeah, what was Ainsley's favourite film, Andrew?
Ainsley's favourite film is just a classic, Miracle on 34th Street.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Ainsley told me he thought Die Hard was a Christmas film. I said, Ainsley, you're talking absolute shite, mate. It's not a Christmas film.
Yeah, he goes through phases, so he does. But yeah, what's up? He said he hopes you die hard.
Oh,
Good one, actually. That's good. That was good.
Zing. Give
dear me.
you mate a good old rub. Okay, yeah, just in case you hadn't, you'd forgotten in amongst all that hilarity, we are a football podcast. Let's get on with some football chatter.
15 minutes in.
15 minutes of Christmas
the
films
film.
and
Good Burger. Terribly, badly explaining the plot of Good Burger. Just watch it. I think it's on Netflix.
thanks for that, mate. Much appreciated. Before we do bash on to the football, it's important that we speak about food every time on these podcasts, every single time. It's important to give a shout out to one of our sponsors, Nooch Bar and Kitchen, one of the finest restaurants in Stirling. Head down to 44 Upper Craigs for some plant-based delights. The Katsu Burger, I think, is still on the menu at the moment. It is to die for.
It certainly is a good burger.
Oh, see
Well
what you
played,
did
sir.
there. We got a little festive numbers maybe coming through the old Nooch menu and the
I tell you what you
celebration.
should do is pop into Nooch to find out.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
Not a roast, perhaps. A favourite of the vegans from times gone past.
Lots of cranberry-based things, because
Mhm.
I'm giving nothing away because I want people to go through those doors and smell the aromas and find out for themselves.
Furky, fake turkey, furky. You like faking? Dead faking, and it's furky. That's what I heard.
well, it could be.
But I can't confirm nor deny if that's on the menu.
Back to football, right? On Friday's episode, Andrew, Matt, and I were predicting Scottish Cup round 3 ties. I announced what those fixtures were at the top of the show, and there is the Predictor League table, which ends in about 3 or 4 weeks' time. The winner of the Predictor League table takes home 12 potato brioche buns from our sponsors, Nooch. I'll
Beautiful.
share my screen and bring up the current league table, because there are points up for grabs. And let me just remember how to do that. It's coming soon. There we go. Right, you hopefully can see this in front of you. After week 8, this was after the Scotland games. Tom was on 8 points, that's me. Andrew was on 7. Matt was on 7 as well. And then your predictions for this weekend's game. So it's 3 points if you get 3 points if you get a correct score, 1 if you get a correct result. Andrew, starting with you, it was Airdrieonians versus Hamilton. You predicted an away win in that tie. How did the game go, and how many points did you get?
Pretty tight, to be fair. I think, fine margins, these results. So, unfortunately, Adrianians just nicked it. Obviously, the Hamilton, they had a rough time. Their manager resigned immediately after the game, pretty much.
What was the score? Sorry, you said they were quite tight.
Scores are not really important when you've lost your manager, so you've got to think about people losing their jobs here. I think we're taking it away from what's important here. So,
what was the score?
It's again, it's not important.
What was the score?
Well, it was 4-0, so...
Yes. And you predicted what score?
Oh, I got it totally wrong. I had 2-1 win for Hamilton, so I did. I actually thought it was one of the safer kind of upsets, which obviously we'll get to later on with a tremendous side dish of gloating, I'm sure. But got that one totally wrong. Crazy stuff at Hamilton, obviously, at the moment. Looks like... Could they be maybe saving the bacon of Celtic Hearts and possibly, Cove Rangers within that league? Maybe some more points deductions coming their way soon, because the manager walked out because of the whole non-payment of wages again. He's having to then... he was sick of having to represent the board effectively, or any sort of football management side, and have to constantly disappoint the players there. As
the players leave on the free. What's the deal with that? Like in terms of wages being unpaid?
If they're in breach of contract, because they've not paid wages, then yeah, they can.
Decent players have got in that squad, like
they do absolutely. But I fear that could be the least of their problems. To be honest with you, it looks like when someone of that stature leaves after they've been through a lot already, it kind of sort of rings a few alarm bells. So we'll keep an eye on Hamilton over the next few weeks. But yeah, well done, Adrianians. Well deserved results. Absolute dominant display there. So got that one completely bloody wrong. So I did.
You did indeed. 0 points for you, I'm afraid, sir. But it was a somewhat bold prediction, as you say. They were the underdogs after all.
Somewhat.
Yeah. Moving on to another underdog prediction. Matthew had looked at Stranraer versus Clydebank, who are flying at the moment. Clydebank, and he thought they were going to get a win with 3-2 down at Stair Park. How did that game go, Matthew?
Have you got the full time score or the after extra time score?
What I've done is I've asterisked 2.
Well, as you can see, there's a star beside that 2, meaning that it was a goal in extra time. It finished 1-1 after 90 minutes. A fairly even 120. Both teams had the same amount of efforts roughly on goal and on target. So Clydebank really, playing well in that game against a team from the league above them. really showing that they deserve to be top of the Lowland League and looking like they could go the whole way this season after their promotion the season before. So yeah, positives for them. Couldn't get over the line, got a man sent off in extra time. Stranraer scored, I think, the first minute in extra time and held on for the 2-1 win. Not quite the cup shock, but certainly a valiant effort from Clydebank, and it was certainly an even game, so positive signs for them. But Stranraer ultimately into the next round, and who they've got, I'm sure, will be revealed later, because I can't remember.
Yes, we'll get to the draw in a wee bit.
No points for me, and those roles are slipping further from my grasp, but hopefully Tam will share one or two and he wins them.
It's not over yet. It's not over yet. It's seriously impressive display from Clydebank, though. I mean,
yeah,
to get that to extra time and to have pretty even stats, as you said, does show that there's not a massive gap there. So it's a pretty good call.
Yeah, they're on the way up, Clydebank. Keep it going, lads. Get back in the league. Bring it back. Fucking nostalgia-ridden times. You deserve it after your years of turmoil. Come on, the Bankies.
Absolutely.
On the Bankies. All about those vibes, isn't it? All about the vibes. Right, yeah. Well, let's just crack on with my game. I'm not a Camelin man. You can probably tell by the accent. Not from here originally, but I did move here about 18 months ago, so I'm proud to say that I am somewhat of a Mariner. And I'd looked at the Camelin Juniors versus Edinburgh City Scottish Cup tie, an East of Scotland Premier Division team up against the might of a League Two side. And it was an incredible, historic, just unbelievable day for the Mariners. 2-1 victory for them, sees them through for the first time to the fourth round of the Scottish Cup. And they were live on TV on Sports Scene last night as the draw was getting made. And Mr. Scobie, the manager of United, once upon a time, 19 appearances for the Shed. He spoke quite well on BBC Live to say that they're not going to get carried away. Elgin City in the draw that we'll discuss in a wee bit is not an easy tie. But I tell you what, I will be there on the 16th or 17th of January, whenever it is. I couldn't be there, sadly, on the weekend. I was up in Aberdeen, but I will not miss the round 4 match. We'll be there. Potentially we can all go. The invitation has been extended to the Tinpot guests of Matt and Andrew. Well, let's make it a 3-way. Pause.
I'm not against the.
I think I'm busy that weekend, mate. Sorry.
What date is it?
I think it's the 17th or 16th of Janvier.
I'll check the old calendar.
Probably do that, yeah.
Their tickets will be a hot property, mate, in Camelin, so you need to snap them up quick.
Oh, don't you worry. I will be all over it like a dug on chips, or whatever the phrase is.
What a result for Camelin, and most importantly, what a result for Tam as he...
What a result for me as I scoosh my way further ahead in that leaderboard. After week 9, I'm on 11 points. Andrew and Matt still both tied on 7. 3 correct scores overall for me and 2 correct results, whereas these boys only had 1 correct score each. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, it's no way back, like, for me anyway. It's going as well as my betting history, which is fucking shite. So, there you go.
You've got how many more weekends of predictions? We've got this weekend, which is the 6th. We've then have the 13th, the 20th. You just need 1 correct score, a couple of correct results.
Are we going to be doing more predictions as the fixtures get more frequent as well?
Yeah.
So it's like all sorts of mental fucking timings.
There's games like tomorrow and Wednesday, no? We can just keep going, predict every single game.
I'll see if Nooch can put an extension maybe to the end of the year, the 31st of December, give you guys a couple extra games to try and win those roles. But there you go, that's the leaderboard if you're watching on YouTube. As I said, 11 to
well
7
played,
to
sir.
7. We will stop sharing that and get back to our big
It's an incredible shout, it really is. For the Mariners, so like is it not fish or what's the Mariner?
There's the Mariner pub in Camelin. There's
okay.
Mariner Drive, Mariner Road. You need to really research the history of this mighty town before you start slagging it off again like you did the last time you were here.
No. Did I?
Yeah, you were slagging Camelin off, mate.
I would never dare. How dare you?
You did. Now you're back.
I can't set a foot in the park now, mate. I'll be bloody attacked.
Attack.
I can't come to that game anymore. I'm undercover. Bloody hell! I mean, Camelin's got a Pepe's. It's got a McDonald's. It's got a B&M. It's got a bowling alley, a train station, a Tesco, a Co-op, which has a Subway inside. So there you go. All the good things.
the
I
Roman
think
bar. The
I think you
Marble
can
bar.
surely speak to them and say, let's do a live episode from there. Like, surely if there's a club that's not going to knock us back, it might be them.
Oh. What do
No,
you mean by
because
that?
they're on the up and we're on the up. There you go. Respectful.
I agree that they're on the up.
We're on the up.
Disagree.
We're definitely on the up. All it takes is a few slagging off
no,
of
but when you're
Celtic
already up
fans
here,
and you're way
there's
up
only
there.
one way to go. We're bloody
Yeah, that's true,
up
yeah.
here, mate.
Yeah,
Up
Sorry,
there.
big time.
not as high as Ainsley. Right, that's the review of the predictions and the predictor league. So moving on to the main conversation topic, which is just a look back at the weekend's Scottish Premiership games. Like I said, we'll touch on all 6 to varying degrees, and we won't do it in the same order as sports scene. We'll just pick a random game. I've got them written down here. Matthew, pick a number between 1 and 6. Which game are we going to?
4.
4. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's Kilmarnock against Dundee United.
What a surprise.
Yes,
Oh,
a
dear.
1-1 tie between Jim Goodwin and Mr. Kettlewell at Rugby Park. A game that, from my perspective, was just completely ruined by the Scottish officials yet again. They got given a penalty for just a ludicrous decision. I don't know if you've watched it back yourselves, gents, but I'm not going to talk about United's performance. I'm not going to talk about Killie and them stopping their 6 losses in a row. Because yet again, I am just mightily frustrated by the standard refereeing and the VAR system in this country.
Yeah,
Just
definitely.
stop
It's
it.
ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it's a topic every single week, and we have to kind of almost stop ourselves from talking about it every week, you know. But it is becoming a joke now. Like, seriously, I know every league gets decisions wrong. I totally understand that, but not to this degree, and not this frequently. Like, it's horrendous. Like, it's absolutely horrendous. And this is just the first game you've picked. Like, this, it's not the last that's got, you know, a clear controversial decisions in there. And by controversial, it's not even like, oh, well, you could give that. You know, it's just like, these are decisions that not one official is getting wrong. You know, you're talking about multiple officials getting wrong at
That's
a
the
match.
problem with VAR, isn't it?
I can't
Yeah.
understand that. I really can't understand that. Like, would it really take more than maybe putting an ex-player in there in the VAR room just to say, why the fuck would that not be a penalty? You know, and just to even ask a question, because it seems like a lot of it is just purely common sense.
I think it's similar to a lot of issues with coaching that we discussed before, where things are just getting overcomplicated. That was Russell Martin's issue, or one of them at Rangers. And it's the same in the refereeing industry, if you will. Like, things are just too complex. There's so many rules, and the rules change every year about silhouettes, and is the hand moving towards the ball? Is it tucked in behind your body, like for
Come
handball,
on,
for
though,
example?
like, if
And
you can keep up
offsides,
with
it's
it,
so
though.
marginal. Like, it's a load of nonsense. You don't need all this difficult stuff. So I agree with your point. Like, yeah, put an ex-pro in there, but also then there's still going to be, if you poll 100 ex-pros, still going to be relatively 50-50, I think, with a lot of these decisions.
Well,
Just get back to referees on the pitch decision being final, and people stop whinging about it.
but the penalty rule is not that difficult to understand. Like, it's not difficult. Like, if your arms are out with your body, like your body's line, then it's a penalty. Like, so if your arm is out there, whether it's natural or not, it's a penalty. Like, it's as simple as that. It's black and white. Like, it's not that fucking complicated.
Yeah, but that rule in itself is stupid, though.
I'm not saying it's not stupid, but you can't just say, oh, well, we'll not give it because it's a stupid rule. It's a fucking rule. Like, you have to give it until they change the rule again, which, as you said, has happened frequently, but it's not that frequent that you can't keep up with it. Like, every other fan can keep up with it. You know, every manager in the league can keep up with it. So how can the officials not? I don't think there's any excuse, like, at all.
Yeah, we're obviously not talking about the United penalty there, because that wasn't for a handball, but just talking generally about the handball rule. Matthew, your thoughts on the United Killie game? Anything about VAR, refereeing, or just the game itself?
Well, I think we all appreciate that VAR is a flawed system in all countries. It would seem that I don't think anyone's got it right, and that comes from the top. I don't think we need it in Scottish football. I don't think we have good enough technology or referees. I like when the ref just made a decision and everyone just shouted at the ref, "You idiot!" Now they just shout like, "You idiot!" or "conspiracy" at everyone else within the VAR room. And I've heard some discussions about English refs, how they don't want to like upset their mate or whatever by like overruling him or making him look like a fool on the pitch by saying like, "I think you got that wrong." So I'd imagine the same sort of thing happens here, where some decisions aren't overturned because it would make the ref look stupid or whatever. So a lot of this stuff is flawed. The idea of VAR is flawed. It doesn't improve the game in any way. It just makes it worse for everyone, really. And I hope it goes in the bin. Other than that, are Dundee above Dundee United yet? Because that's happening soon, mate.
Not quite, but
Yeah.
it's not far away. We do have a game in hand on them still, and we're 3 points clear, I think.
Got to win that
But
game,
yeah, the
mate.
derby, just the turn of the new year, will be an interesting one.
Yeah,
I was
it's
just
getting tight.
discussing with my dad on the weekend about rule changes and things like that. I think I'm sure it was after Euro '92 where they introduced the no picking up a back pass.
Yeah, after Denmark.
thing,
Yeah.
after Denmark
Yeah.
took the piss in the Euros, and that rule change was for the benefit of fans, because
Yep.
it made it more interesting for fans. You couldn't do that. It made it more exciting. What all these rules that change now, whether it's the spray that you put down for a free kick, whether it's the offside rule, whether it's VAR, whether it's the handball rule that's been changed about 4 times in the last 10 years, all these rule changes that occur, and then how long a goalie hangs onto a ball and all these things, none of them are to benefit the enjoyment of the game or to make it a better spectator sport. It's all so that apparently it makes it easier for refs to make a black and white decision. But all it does is create more controversy. And like I told you guys, maybe off the pod, I can't remember if it was recorded or not, but I watched a couple of games from sort of 2003, 2004 that are on YouTube, the full games. And it's so good. The commentators are saying, "Oh, I think he's maybe a half a yard offside there," and he goes and scores. And he's like, "Oh, but you get those, don't you?"
Mm.
And there was no, like, they moved on from it. There was no 6 replays from different angles and talking about it. And they go, "Oh, he's got it so wrong. It's so wrong. It's costing. It's costing." They just
Yeah.
got on with it. And
Yeah.
why can't we just do that now? What's the fucking problem? Social media, that's what.
I totally agree. I think there's an opportunity there as well, with just letting the Scottish game be a bit more physical. Why use that as why try and dilute it? That's one of the sort of identifying factors of our game. If you watch a game from, as you said, 2006 or even before that or whatever, there's big bastard tackles going in there, and this proper rivalries and proper, and that's all for the benefit of the entertainment and the fans, so all these rule changes just make the game softer and it slows it down, and there's more stops, and it's harder to then have that needle, and that's when if you watch a League One game in Scotland or whatever, there's a lot more bite in it. The quality's not as good, of course, but there's a lot more bite in it. Whereas you watch the Prem, it's so stop start, and it's it's just a bit soft, really. I just think that we're ruining like what we should be known as. Like that's it sucks. Like it's shit to watch.
All these minor rules for taking your shirt off for when you celebrate, and kicking the ball away, and time wasting. The number of yellow cards in 2004, 2005, it was an average of 54 per team in the SPL across the season. It's now gone up to last season 71 per team.
Jesus.
But weirdly, the number of red cards has gone down compared to 05 to 2025.
I suppose it's just because of the lack of physicality. As I was saying, it's probably that.
But yeah, you can't now. And also the number of subs you get. You're getting 5 subs in a game. So as soon as someone's on a yellow card, they get hooked off.
Yeah.
But you rack up so many more yellows because of the stupid things that you get a yellow card for.
Yeah.
Anyway, I need to stop moaning because I just go down a rabbit
No,
hole.
I agree though.
The rule book needs rewritten and just scrapped, and I think VAR needs scrapped. Anyway, we've sort of done our Room 101 before. Maybe we need another one of those just to allow us to vent again.
Yeah. No, agreed.
No other real takeaways from United Killie other than Killie stopped the rot, and United got a point away at a ground that has haunted them for the last few years, and we got beat there earlier in the season as well. So, not the worst result for either team. Next game, pick another number. Andrew, you this time.
Go for number 1.
Number 1, it's the Hearts match against Motherwell away at Fir Park. It was another draw. We just discussed a draw at Rugby Park. It was a 0-0 between a flying Motherwell and a slightly declining Jambos. Matthew, don't know if you saw it or saw the highlights. What are your main takeaways from that
Main
one?
takeaway is that we just congratulate Celtic now on the title, or we can at least do an episode which is called Everyone Got Really Excited after Hearts beat Celtic and thought Hearts would win the league. It was just what happened last.
Everyone except this guy.
Yeah, whatever, mate. It was the same last year when Aberdeen won 11 games. There was like, oh, Aberdeen might challenge for the title, and then they're like the worst team ever now. Like, so, no takeaways other than it's a tough place to go for Hearts. But if you want to win the league, you have to win those weak games, and they've drawn too many games. They've obviously not lost many, only lost one. But this Celtic team are on a bit of a juggernaut, bit of momentum under Martin O'Neill, and you'd imagine that'll continue with good vibes under Nancy. So yeah, I can see Celtic winning the league by 10-12 points, and just Hearts need to win the games that they draw, basically, is my takeaway. But fair play to Motherwell, like on a good run themselves. Asku's certainly getting the results for the style of play now, and we mentioned that a few months ago about style versus results, but he seems to be doing both, and they're really impressing, so good on him.
Yeah, definitely. I think that kind of opposition suits Motherwell and Asku's style much more. Gives him a little bit more space. I think was shown in the stats. They were thriving. I think Hearts only had one shot on target. Whereas Motherwell were fairly dominant. And looking at the highlights anyway, and certainly listening to the game whilst it was on, it seemed like Motherwell were certainly having the more threatening spells. Hearts have fallen away a wee bit, definitely. Celtic, they are much more consistent, and just the general feedback from Callum McGregor after their game, it seems like they are more settled. But once they get Willie Nancy in there, then it'll be really interesting to see. Don't laugh at that symmetry.
I didn't know you spoke French, mate. That's really good accent.
I just like to pronounce people's names properly.
Okay.
But it'll be interesting to see. But I think Hearts will have. I think they will have a bit of activity in January. They've said that publicly several times. And again, the recruitment has been good. So if that's the case, I would expect them to have a little bit, of a better spell after that window. However, they're suffering now, so they really need to start, winning ugly when you really need to. This was one of those games, and they struggled. It really did look like they struggled anyway.
That's the thing. They're not necessarily struggling, are they? Because they're only struggling in the context of winning the league. They're not struggling versus what you'd expect the Hearts team to do.
Sure.
So it was after the Celtic game. I've said it to you. I've said it to my mates at work. Everyone will be bored of me saying this, but after they beat Celtic, there was 6 games coming up between then and playing Celtic again, which is next weekend. And those 6 games were the 2 Dundee teams, Killie, Motherwell, and Aberdeen, and St Mirren. I think St Mirren was right after Celtic. And I said, if you want to seriously be competing in the league, you need to go into that Celtic game getting 15 points out of those 18. Because those 6 games, 3 of them at home, 3 away, you need to be winning 5 out of those 6. Understandably, you can slip up and lose 1. But they've not. They can take a maximum of, 8 points from those games now, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll be behind Celtic with Celtic having a game in hand if they lose that. So, look, we all want Hearts to win the league. Realistically, but it's unrealistic, unfortunately, this early into Bloom's sort of tenure at Hearts.
You say that, Tom.
38 games.
You're right. You're right, and I can't really disagree with you. However, the drama of this season is not over yet. It looks like Martin O'Neill will be in charge on Wednesday, but Willie Nancy will probably be taking his first game against Hearts on the Sunday. So if Willie Nancy comes in and maybe doesn't quite get the dressing room going, doesn't sort of vitalize the young players in there and get it all flowing, then Willie Nancy might then be off to a bad start. But again, it could be the catalyst for Willie Nancy to go on and do really well. So be an interesting one on that Sunday. Maybe a good time for Hearts to bounce back and just show Willie Nancy, like, we're here to really compete.
Yeah, fingers crossed. It's one of those where O'Neill's come in and steadied the ship, hasn't he? We'll sort of go into that Celtic and Hibs game now then. He's come in and steadied the ship. They've won all of his games in charge, with 4 back-to-back wins in the league. He is, as Matthew said at the time, a vibes man. He's not worried about the tactical element, I don't think, on the training pitch. He's just getting them playing, getting them motivated, getting them disciplined, and it's clearly working. Will that new manager coming in, will he try and impact and put a style on the players straight away, and will that cause the opposite of a new manager bounce, which you sometimes see? I don't know. Would it be wise? I know the deal's kind of done with Nancy now, but
I would give O'Neill the cup final. Like, I'd give him till the new year. That's what I think.
Is it worth hanging on to O'Neill for a bit longer? But I think some of the fans are keen for that. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think they're riding the vibes bus all the way to the Vibes Town. So I don't see why you'd park the bus at the Vibes bus stop and get on the sort of technical bus. I mean, I think if Nancy did come in now, there's not really any time for him to implement any sort of tactical style, so you'd probably just keep the Vibes train bus going. So yeah, I can see them still riding that bus until the new year, when there's a bit more time to sort of implement a tactical style. I think he's similar to Ange in the way that he likes teams to play very intense. So I don't know. I'd maybe keep O'Neill, just give him team talks while Nancy's there. I don't know. Just he pops up now and again in the change. Hello everybody.
It's pretty awkward, isn't it? Like, if they keep delaying it. I know it's for other reasons, but
yeah,
O'Neill keeps getting questioned on it. That's what's really pissing me off.
He's like,
every bit of media coverage with Martin O'Neill is like, would you stay? Would you like to stay? Are you staying for longer? What's your last game going to be? Just fucking shut up, man. It's pissing me off.
Yeah, I think it's
point
not.
To that, but...
No, I agree. I do think it's awkward for him. It is very awkward for him, and he's done a great job. He's got players that, in my opinion, weren't really firing that well. With the likes of Engels, Hatate was having a rotten season. And he's really come in, and these guys are scoring goals, both of them. So, and he's also getting the best out of the players that maybe started well and fell off, like Nygren, for example. So, yeah, he's done a great job. He's done a really good job. If I was anything to do with that, I would be looking at trying to maybe integrate Martin O'Neill into the kind of handover for the rest of the season, at least. Maybe looking at a director of football or co-director of football role or something, to try and sort of help them keep that momentum. Because yeah, if Nancy comes in and massively changes everything, it's not going to end well. Like, it's going to be hugely disruptive for that team, and they can't really be making those sweeping kind of changes right now, especially with a hectic schedule. So
it's a precarious situation, isn't it?
It is. It really is. Yeah.
When does it happen?
It's a tricky time to change over, as the sort of fixture list heats up. They've got big games in there as well. Obviously, we talked about Hearts, but I think they've got Roma, soon after that, and so it's a real baptism of fire.
As well. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, against St Mirren. Yeah, so Nancy's really going to have to hit the ground running and maybe not change too much. But I think having Martin O'Neill in there in some capacity, not to step on his toes, because ultimately, what's the point in getting a new manager then? But to maybe be taking that sort of back seat as sort of co-director of football or something, and that might take the heat off the board slightly as well, because obviously they've had quite a lot of friction, to say the least. So for them to maybe bring in somebody like that who's respected, knows the club well, and has been sort of turning things around for them, this season. I think that would be a really smart move. But whether you'd be interested in that or not, I don't really know.
Who knows? Who knows indeed? Yeah, it's going to be an interesting December. That league table could look anyway by the end of the month, I reckon. It's hard to kind of predict. Moving on then to from the top to the bottom of the table, for one of these teams anyway, and Yimi Tellin, who is proving us all wrong. I remember being at Tannadice to watch our 2-0 victory against Aberdeen and coming on the pod a day or two later and sort of demanding that Aberdeen sack him, because what I saw on the pitch was awful. They're in a terrible run of form. I think they'd got 1 point from their first 6 games or something like that. Saw no hope for them. They're defensively awful. They weren't scoring goals. I think there was 5 games without a goal or 6 games without a goal at the start of the season as well. But they've turned things around in pretty remarkable fashion. They are jumping themselves up the leaderboard. The leaderboard, that's not...
The leaderboard? What, you American or something?
Yeah, I've got our predictor leaderboard sort of thing in my head. They've sort of turned their fortunes around. It was a very late winner from Nicky Devlin's wee head to get the 1-0 victory away at Livy. Great travelling support as Aberdeen always do, and shite home support from Livy as they always do. And Martindale, rock bottom, still on 8 points. His only win of the season coming against Falkirk quite early on. What's your take on that, Matt? Aberdeen and Livy.
On the Aberdeen thing, I'm not sure if these sort of 1-0 results are papering over a large butt crack. They still aren't scoring goals. Obviously short of the defence, but it really is worrying, the lack of goals. Obviously Nisbet got his first goal in the Europa Conference League in midweek, so hopefully he can start scoring more goals. I don't know about Aberdeen. I mean, they're winning, but how long can you win 1-0 for before you don't score that sort of goal from the defender or the midfielders? They need some attacking reinforcements in January, and perhaps the mad Penguin stealing director of football can work some magic and bring in some actual competent players. On Dave Martindale, I think it's bloody unlucky, man. Bloody unlucky, eh? He's not getting the rub of the old AstroTurf, is he? They're close. They're really close to getting results. They're close, but they just, I don't know, it's still quite tight, so they're lucky they're not cut adrift, but they need to start winning games. I mean, I said that a few weeks ago and they haven't won a game. Mostly they were unlucky at Ibrox last week, and again putting in a valiant performance this week, but we've seen with Falkirk, the other promoted team, have the ability to sort of get goals and win games, and Livingston just can't score enough goals. But Martindale's a good guy, and I think they'll do enough to stick around for a while at least. I don't think they'll be cut adrift. But as I said before, they just need to get a win somewhere to just sort of light a fire, kickstart them.
Yeah, they've been close on a few occasions to getting a big point, like a draw against Aberdeen would have been, and they've had last minute goals against them to lose. They're scoring a decent number of goals, Livy, for a team right at the bottom, but they're just shipping far too many. Over 2 goals a game they're conceding, so it's a bit of a disaster for them. But Aberdeen, they've got 2 games in hand on Hibs. If they win both of those, they'd go above them. 5 wins, I think, in their last 7, with a defeat and a draw in that run. And I know what you're saying about those 1-0 wins aren't papering over the cracks and they're not scoring enough goals, etc. But 1-0 wins are a mark of a good team. That's what all the pundits say. That's what the media always says. And not conceding goals is the only way you can really build a foundation, I think. So
nice to score more, though, I think.
Well, of course, everyone wants to score more. That comes back to results versus style, and results versus like how nice it is to watch. But 1-0 wins.
10 goals, man. 10 goals.
Take 38 of them in a season.
Dundee have scored 12, and they've got like no players I've ever heard of in my life. They've got fucking random boys on loan from Boreham Wood or some shite.
Yeah, they've also got 5 less points, having played a game more though. What matters? It's points on the board.
Yeah,
I just feel like when you spend all that money on Aberdeen's case on a lot of players, you should expect a bit more from the manager to be able to put some sort of attacking plan together,
Agreed.
But you're right, they are doing alright. I mean, they scored 4 against Dundee. Jesus, what Dundee? They scored 2 against Shakhtar. Come on, let that. I think Jimmy's gone the opposite direction. I think he's a bit too scared now. Like, he's still handbrake firmly on. He's trying to. It's stuck. He needs to release it a wee bit. I don't know. It's tough. I guess when you've been sort of scarred by a really poor sort of run, you want to sort of just do what you can not to lose again. So eventually they're going to have to find a balance between the two.
Yeah, definitely. Livingston, to go back to them anyway, they've got a really crucial period coming up in their next 5 games. They've got Motherwell. They do have Celtic in there somewhere as well. But they've got, Dundee, they've got St Mirren, they've got Dundee United, 3 teams that are in the bottom 6 at the moment. Sorry. So they really need to be, if they're going to turn their fortunes around, they really need to be picking up some points somewhere there. But tough games though, and you do fear that maybe the longer this run goes on, then it's not just going to be bad luck. It's going to be, the heads are down in the squad, and it's going to be, difficult to recover. For Aberdeen, I agree with everything you've really said there, Matt. To be honest, I think you're expecting a bit more from a team with that kind of budget. They aren't doing badly. Obviously they're not scoring enough, which is clear, but their form in the last 5 games is better than Falkirk, Hibs, Hearts, that are all above them. And it's only really Motherwell that's matching it. Celtic, 4 wins out of 5. Rangers 4 wins out of 5. So they are making their way up there. But I don't feel overly convinced. It's a nice wee spell, and you have to win these games 1-0, sometimes. But I'm not overly convinced by Aberdeen. I think you're right. They need a big window in January, and unfortunately, a team of that size doesn't tend to have a big window in January. So maybe creeping into top 6, but not flying up there, and maybe sort of competing with the likes of Motherwell, possibly Hibs if they start to come back into things. So we'll see.
I think when you've gone through a period like they had at the start of the season, it was the worst run of form they'd been in donkey's years. That extends into the last season, excluding the Scottish Cup. You can't then turn that around from 0 goals in 6 games and 0 wins in 6 games to then start scoring 4 every week or 2 or 3 goals every week. I think what they've done is bridge the gap. The next 6 games they've had good results. They've got those wins. They've got the points on the board that they need. Then they can build on that. They've obviously had big wins in that time as well against the likes of Hearts. There only a few came against Hibs, I think. So yeah, I'm not necessarily sure either that. I think every team would like a big window. I don't necessarily think, looking at that group of players, they need one. As much as I'd love to see Falkirk be in that top 6 come the end of the season, I don't think they will be. I think that their squad will start to have some holes appear, and they'll start falling away. United haven't been at the races all season. Motherwell are playing really good football. I can see them sort of sustaining, but Aberdeen will definitely finish top 6 for me anyway. Potentially even pushing up towards 5th and 4th, depending on what else happens. But anyway, we've just mentioned St Mirren there, Andrew. You'd mentioned that they're down near the bottom, and they are, according to Stephen Robinson, now in a relegation battle, having been beaten away up at Dens 3-1 by Stephen Presley's high-flying D's. What's the thoughts on that relegation scrap? We've got Livy, St Mirren, Dundee, Killie.
Yeah, I mean, that was the game that they really needed to win. They've had a rough November, narrowly losing to Celtic in the last couple of minutes or last minute. Playing a decent Hibs side and then gaining a win against Motherwell, at the start of the month in the League Cup. So, it was a very convincing performance in that League Cup game. So I'm not overly critical or overly worried that St Mirren are in a relegation battle, if I'm honest. I don't see them going top 6, but I see them being pretty steady mid-table somewhere. But Stephen Robinson's got to say it because he's an experienced manager. He needs to let his players where they are right now, and that's it. But if you look over the series of results that they've had over the course of the month, it's not disastrous stuff. Obviously when we were talking about Kilmarnock, for example, last week I think it was, or maybe the week before, their form hasn't really drastically improved there. But St Mirren, I would say, have had a slightly rougher ride. So It'll be interesting to see how they get on over the next couple of games. Dundee United, will be one that they should be sort of putting away. But the Aberdeen game on Wednesday will be interesting. And if they can get a run on over those two games, then the League Cup final becomes a little bit more interesting. If they don't, then it's going to be one-way traffic. Especially if Celtic are performing the way they are at the moment. So, I'm not overly worried about St Mirren, if I'm honest. I think this is recoverable, but yeah.
You think the sort of scrap for those bottom three places is between sort of Killie, Dundee, Livy?
To be
or
honest,
any other names sneaking in there?
To be honest, I think so. It's hard to say what's going to happen with Dundee United, but I don't really feel that. I feel it's a bad spell. I don't think the very start of the season looked dreadful. Maybe I'm wrong there. You'd certainly know that better than me, but there was some good performances there. There was some good performances in Europe, so there was definitely green shoots showing what that team's capable of. I would say Livy's going down, but I think St Mirren will be sitting something like 7th or 8th. Come end of the season.
Getting off, right? We've exhausted pretty much the entire SPFL Premiership card from the weekend. One game left to go, which is the Messiah, John McGlynn's Falkirk Army, getting a point away at Ibrox. A fantastic 0-0 from their perspective. Saw the players being booed off the pitch at Ibrox for probably the 7th or 8th time in the last 13 games. Did
Top
you
of the form
watch
table,
Andrews,
mate.
or top of the form
Top
table?
of the form
they are.
table, man. These fans don't know how good they've
wins
got
and a
it.
draw.
Yeah, it's unreal.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I couldn't watch the game because it was on dodgy stick material, but I had to just watch the highlights and listen along on the radio. I mean, the booing, I understand, but I would never do it myself. I think that I don't really see any fans turning on the manager at the moment, and nor should they. But we're talking about Old Firm fans, so we can't ever rule that out. But at the end of the day, it was a match that with that lineup they should have got a result. That it's as simple as that, and that's why there was frustration. There wasn't unanimous frustration like there has been for most of the season for all sorts of reasons, but there was definitely frustration. There was some really good signs there as well. I think Fernandez has shown that he's really taking his chance whilst the jersey's available. And there's some promising signs there. Bayrami coming back in, he's looking like a hungry player. That's delighted to be involved and showing that he's definitely worth the shirt. Connor Barron, for me, I can't really fault him. This season he's been really good. So those three, I think have applied themselves really well in that game. I think the rest, and Danny Rule did say it, after the game, that he's kind of run out of road for a lot of the players that he's been giving chances to, just to assess whether they're part of his plans or not. So I think he's at that stage now. And I think it's quite clear which players are probably not quite up to it. So I think that's where the sort of fan frustrations come from. But look, that's enough about Rangers. It's a great result for Falkirk. They're really well organised. It's as simple as that. It's not like they didn't have chances in the game as well. So they're still holding their own. You've got to remember that they were promoted. They didn't have a mental window. And they are holding their own in that top six. You are right, Tam. They will probably end up in that bottom six, but they're definitely not going down, are they? They're definitely not going to be anywhere near that. So, it just is a real testament to how good their manager actually is, how together that squad is. It's, as I said, it's mainly just the sheer organisation that they have there. That's twice they've made Rangers drop points against them. And, on the first occasion, they probably should have won that game as well. So realistically, he's done a absolutely stunning job. So, yeah, well done, Falkirk. Well deserved. It'll be interesting to see which of these Rangers players, I guess, are maybe not going to get a shout anymore from here on in. We'll see how that goes midweek.
Yeah, pretty remarkable from the Messiah. I think like half a dozen of that matchday squad were with McGlynn in League One.
Mm-hmm.
They brought in 3 decent loanees from down south, as well as a great goalkeeper signing in Scott Bain to sort of shore things up at the back, even though that wasn't a position they necessarily looked like they needed to strengthen. I think just having strength and depth is key at this level. And yeah, only 1 defeat in the last two months domestically in October and November, and that came against Celtic. It's brilliant. It's fantastic, and I mean, long may it continue. Like I say, I think they might well fall away if they get an injury or two, as the fixtures rack up throughout the winter weeks. But for now, the Bairns will be loving every second. Matthew, I know you're buzzing for them. You love Falkirk.
Yep, great place. Yeah, very welcoming place for all in Falkirk. The McGlynn is absolute legend. I just keep going back to thinking about how it ended at Rovers. Kind of wishing he was still our manager. The way it ended was a bit. It was disappointing. But fair play to him. He's just remarkable. He's riding the wave of success, and when you get on that sort of that wave on your board, you're riding that bad boy. You feel unstoppable, and obviously he feels that way. And the players obviously believe in him and believe in themselves, and he's instilled a wonderful attitude within players that are really playing above their, or are really becoming just legends at Falkirk. So it's good to see for them. And McGlynn for Scotland. I know I said that before. I really mean that.
What, before the World Cup or?
No, obviously after the World Cup, after this season, mate. Once Falkirk are in Europe. Tell me another manager that's doing better than John McGlynn, our Scottish manager, and I'll tell you to shut up, because it's going to be lies. There you
Steve
go.
Clark.
Oh, obviously, right? Thank you, mate. One's in domestic football, you dick. Tell me one. Tell me another one.
No, there isn't one.
There isn't one.
It's as simple as that.
Tam Scobie, Cameron Juniors.
Who's the manager of Auchinleck Talbot? If they beat Celtic, then he can get the job.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, what a draw that is. We didn't actually discuss the Scottish Cup draw, but alas, everyone's seen it. There's the Auchinleck Talbot is the big draw. Camelin Juniors have got Elgin City at home. That's a massive one, which all the Tinpot lads are going to attend in January. You heard it here first. They can't back out of that one. Rovers, who did they get, Matt?
Away to Aberdeen, great draw.
Away to Aberdeen.
I was reminiscing about that last week. Yeah, I know. A chance to win as well.
Rangers have got a tap in against Annan, I think, at
Of course,
home, haven't they?
classic.
It's a great tie for Annan, though. Having it at Ibrox as well, it's a real good boost, that. So, but hey, anything could happen. We've already had a big upset last year, so Annan should go for
banana skin coming back to home.
Yeah,
something of the same
absolutely.
ilk. And Dundee United play Ayr United at home. Scott Brown visits Tannadice, and hopefully no Dundee shirts on display like there was Killie shirts at Somerset Park at the weekend. If you've not checked out that story, go and give it a read. It's quite funny.
In a world where sponsorship is more accessible than ever, that world exists at sportsponsorship.co.uk. Whether you're interested in making a difference to your local community or further afield, or perhaps you're looking for access to tens of thousands of followers online to push your brand further than ever, get in touch with sportsponsorship.co.uk. That's sportsponsorship.co.uk.
Right, before we wrap up, we're going to do a quiz, and it's a new format quiz today, gents, testing your geography knowledge as well as your football knowledge. I'm going to share my screen. For those of you who are listening, I will explain this as we go, but if you're watching on YouTube, prepare for the best graphic you've ever seen.
Geography.
Look at that.
Oh, that's some top-notch 90s.
It's good, isn't it?
Oh my god, this is
Nostalgia.
really difficult.
So, I need a buzzer from you both as usual, but I won't get you to explain them. I'll just differentiate as we go. What's going to happen here is I'm going to click the blue segment, reveal the things underneath. It's going to tell you the division that the team is in, and then it's going to tell you in miles the distance to Hampden, the distance to Easter Road, and the distance to Pittodrie that their stadium is. And you then have to guess. There's 2 points up for grabs. If you don't know the name of the stadium, you can just guess the team. If you know the stadium name and the team name, you get a point for each. It will pass over to the other person if you get it wrong.
So
yeah,
you need the stadium
both.
and the team name, right? Okay.
To get a point for each, yeah.
Okay.
So the first one, and I'd ask you kindly to wait to buzz in until I've announced each thing in the box, just so people who are listening can play along at home.
Okay.
The first one is a championship team. The distance to Hampden is 35 miles. The distance to Easter Road is 93 miles. And the distance to Pittodrie is 181 miles. And that is per the quickest route according to Google Maps in a car. So which
Championship team
or ground is that?
Struggers.
Oh, Struggers is buzzed. Quick.
I'll go Ayr United.
And you know the name of the ground?
It's Somerset Park. Slash
Somerset
some...
Park. It's correct.
Yeah. Has
Well
it got
done,
a
sir.
sponsor? I don't know.
That's 2 points straight off the bat. Your next team is League One, Scottish League One. Distance to Hampden, 186 miles. Distance to Easter Road, 129 miles. And distance to Pittodrie, just 33 miles.
Bastard.
It was Matthew first, I think.
Yeah, it was. It definitely was.
Is it Cove Rangers?
That's what I was going to say, yeah.
And the
Cove Rangers
ground,
and...
Balmoral... No. Barmuir. Balmuir. No. One of them's Peterhead.
How many answers do you get?
One of them's Peterhead, one of them's
How many
Cove. I'll
answers do
name
you
them
get?
both. I'll go Balmoral.
Cove Rangers is incorrect, and so is your stadium name. Passes over to you, Andrew.
No, it's the other one I just said.
Who else is in League One? That's quite north. Montrose? No, they're not in League One.
Oh.
But I said it,
answer,
so
mate.
play the rules. That's it, yeah, I'm not like Struggy.
You've said Montrose, but you don't need to guess Montrose's stadium name. If you think it's another team, you could guess their name. You could be crafty about it to try and salvage a point.
33 miles from Pittodrie, League One. Who the fuck's in League One?
I'm just going to very quickly stop sharing to double check.
I think
who this is.
have some confidence in your guess, mate, I think. I don't know.
What's your final answer, sir?
Oh, go Montrose. Yeah, fine.
Montrose and stadium name. Any guesses?
The Montrose Dome.
Montrose Dome is incorrect. It's Peterhead, and it's the Balmoor Stadium.
No, that's what I said.
Balls.
I got...
Yeah,
this,
it's
I didn't
0
say,
points all round
fuck.
for that one. Your third test of geography and football knowledge is a League Two team. The distance to Hampden is 99 miles, distance to Easter Road is 78 miles, and distance to Pittodrie, 55 miles.
Oh my god, that's a hard one.
So that's maybe the toughest so far.
Equidistant
Not quite equidistant.
between London and Reading. Oh, slow. Gildy.
No.
Oh, Gildy's buzzed. First time he's got in there before Matthew.
I actually don't think that's right, but I'll go for Forfar.
Okay.
Athletic. The
And the
farm,
name
the
of the
Farmer
stad?
Dome.
The what?
The Farmer Dome.
The former Dome.
The Farmer Dome.
Oh, Farmer Dome.
Yeah.
You got Forfar as a correct answer. Well done, sir. The stadium, though, as Matthew will tell you, because it passes over to him to get a point,
Is
blanking.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Agricultural Arena.
Forfar play at...
Come on.
Oh, no, don't Nah, I don't know, mate. I've gone blank. Fuck.
Yeah, same.
3,
Don't tell me.
2,
Tell me.
1. Station Park.
Oh, I was fucking near the
pick a
nest. I was
cat.
thinking Stair Park, that's Stranraer.
So that's
Get up.
Matthew with 2 points, Andrew on 1 with
Bloody
two
hard,
teams
man.
still to
That's
unveil.
very
This is
difficult,
exciting. Another League One team, this time 27 miles from Hampden, 33 miles from Easter Road, and 130 miles from Pittodrie.
So that would have to be
Equidistant between Hampden
League
Easter
One.
Road.
Gildy.
Oh, he's buzzed.
I'm going to go for Hamilton Academical.
Hamilton Academical Goods. And the name of the stadium, please?
Where do they play now? Broadmoor?
No, it's not Broadmoor.
I don't know where the fuck. Where do they play now?
You get 0 points because Hamilton is incorrect, as is Broadmoor. Matthew, pass over to you for 2 point stab, potentially, and to win the game if you get both.
League One.
Is it
Easter Road.
Kelly Hearts?
Kelty Hearts also incorrect. And a last ditch stab at the stadium name, just in case.
Give us the team.
Nope, you don't get a point for that.
Oh, did I get to guess the team? Oh, did I get to guess
Yeah,
the...
you get a guess, so both.
Oh, yeah, cool. League
What's this
One.
for? Oh,
He's
we're starting again.
No. He's
I'll
it's passed over
go
to him to guess the stadium
for
name
the
here, but
Inderell
it's-
Stadium.
Incorrect. It's Oakle View, home of Stenhousemuir.
Bloody yeah, Dennismuir, been there. Fucking St. Gentle lads, R.I.P.
And finally, only 1 point in it. So it's-
Stenhousemuir, 33 miles from Easter Road. That
Bang.
can't be right.
It's
Get on
bloody
Google
hard.
Maps.
This is a good
What,
quiz,
as-
I like it. I like this
the
quiz.
as the crow flies, or is it
For
like?
God's sake.
No, on the roads. Hold on. Let me
Alright.
just.
Jeez.
Depends which way you
I stand
drive.
corrected.
Oakhill View. I'm gonna. You know what? I was like with Neil McCann. I was wrong there. I'm gonna just look again.
Because Stenhousemuir is quite near Paisley, so it's not
Not
far
near
from
Paisley
Hampden.
more. It's near
not near
fucking...
Paisley.
It's like north of Paisley.
No, it's near where Tom lives, man.
Stenhousemuir.
It's like 5
near
minutes to
Falkirk.
Camelin. It's near Falkirk.
Yeah, it's 32.5 miles from Stenhousemuir to Easter Road.
And you rounded up.
Alright, fair enough.
He doesn't know his bloody Scottish geography at this point.
Doesn't
I
know.
don't-
Bloody-
I don't-
Right.
Just follows
It's 2-1
Google
to
Maps
Matthew.
blindly into a lake, probably, Andrew, if it told you to take a left, eh?
Your final
No,
team
seriously, I would.
is, again, in League One, 69 miles from Hampden, 38 miles from Easter Road, and 92 miles from Pittodrie.
69.
You're 34.
I'll guess, I'll go for Alloa and Inderell.
Alloa Indodrill, incorrect. This means, Andrew, you can either tie if you get one of either the team name or the stadium, or if you get both, you win.
Is it a recreation park? But it doesn't matter.
Easter Road. Trying to think what's closer to, because the other two is, it's got to be. Just looking at the other ones.
So it's closer to Easter
So
Road,
it's got to be north of.
but it's north
The
of
old central
Falkirk,
belt.
based on the distance to Pittodrie, yeah.
It's League One as well.
Would indicate it's more east as well if it's closer to Easter Road than it is Hampden, I would suggest.
League One. Trying to think of League One teams.
Just a recap for those listening. A League One team that is 69 miles from Hampden, 38 miles from Easter Road, 92 miles from Pittodrie. This all hangs in the balance.
I'm gonna go for. Would that be 69 miles from Hampden? No. Probably. I'm gonna go for East Fife.
East Fife. And the name of the stadium. This is so if you get the East Fife correct, it's a draw. If you get the stadium name as well, you've won.
I should know this.
You should know this. I know where you're from.
It's actually really annoying me. Fucking hell.
Right, time's up. Out of time.
Gives you 5.
Bayview. Bayview.
He's done it! It's Bayview Stadium in Methil. And it's East Fife. Well
Wow,
done, sir.
comeback.
3
Heavy
points
metal.
to 2.
Well done.
Big dick.
That's right. Well played, sir.
Incredible. Well done, Andrew.
Pulls out of the
Ainsley
bag.
whispered in my ear.
Yeah, Ainsley knows
Ah,
his
boo.
ball.
Phone a friend.
He's been a methyl many a time.
He has, yeah, he has.
Good quiz, mate. I like that, dude.
Yeah, that was good. That was hard. That was really difficult.
A little different format, keep you on your toes. Well, I mean, prepare for that. We're now into the Advent. We've got a grand total of, let me just get the number correct. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 podcasts between now and Christmas. So instead of 24 windows in your Advent calendar, you've got 7 podcasts. We're counting down to Crimbo. So yeah, we'll have a different quiz format on every single episode. I'm going to
Wow.
commit to that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, new every time. Something
Get used to
never
it,
seen.
sister.
It's 10:33. Right, that's all from Tinpot this week. Thanks so much for listening. This is dropping Tuesday, the 2nd of December. Next episode is going to be Friday, the 5th of December. I know most people on that day will have bigger things in their calendar, such as Scotland's World Cup draw or the day before my dog's birthday. But if
Happy
you're not
birthday.
into any of that, then listen to our podcast instead. Thanks so much for sticking around. Give us a like, a share, a comment, a follow. Andrew, what else should they do?
Subscribe. And
Oh, yes.
also, just enjoy it. Spread the word verbally.
Yeah.
Orally, some might say, yeah.
Tell your
Orally
friends.
as well. You can do that if you've got a good relationship with them. Yeah, definitely.
Willie Noncy. Goodbye.
Bye. Cheers.
Bye.
See you, bye. Cheers, bye.